This is what you get for ruining my vacation.
What's up guys, Nightingale here, and welcome to another video. Today we have a special guest sitting here at the round table. That's right, Seaside Bellona is now officially in my box. We did around 600 bookmarks and never reached pity. Pulled 3 of them. Pretty impressed. Unfortunately, while trying to chase Rengar's drink, didn't happen. We pulled 3, and I just bought it with powder. Worst case scenario, it wasn't that bad. So, I wanted to make this video to help out a lot of newer players here, because a lot of you who started with the Beginner's Handbook, I've been talking about limiteds and what you need to do with limiteds, and I figured, why not now explain to you, kind of give you a jump start on how to build your Bellona, where you wanted to go with her, and give you some just general guidance and information about her and her kit. So, first thing, let's jump over here. Do want to warn you that it will be here from 6:30 to 7:14. So you have 2 weeks from the start of her banner to try to pull her. Once she is gone for the year. Unless they do something bizarre and rerun her in a couple weeks for a part of another summer event for said undisclosed unit that they still haven't officially announced of a new summer unit. I doubt it. She's gone. She just counted it as she's gone till next year. Try your best and hope you get her. It's really worth it. So, here's the thing. You don't need to dupe your SSB off this banner. You don't need to dupe your Rengar's drink off this banner. Why? Because we have something else here. If we go over here to Heroes and we bring up Green Ranger, there's another Bellona. That's right, you can dupe your Seaside Bellona with the Green Bellona, as well as you can dupe your Rengar's drink here in the powder shop with Bottles of Knowledge. Now, while this will take you quite a while, just know that all you need to do is secure a Bellona and secure a Rengar's drink, and you're good to go. It can always be duped later. Does she need to be duped? Not really. Does she need to have a Rengar's drink duped? Not really. Plus 30 is great. But is it going to stop you from enjoying the content? Absolutely not. So I was editing the video and I forgot, so I'm going to randomly put this in here somewhere. I forgot to talk about how to quickly build her as far as where to get everything. So, some information for you all for Awakening. You need 45 normal runes, 22 greater runes, and 18 epic runes to max her out in her Awakening. Small Sun badges, come here to Catalyst Journal. You're going to go to Unrecorded History once you've got that up. Best place to farm it. It's in 9.1 and in 7. So this is where it's saying where it has a drop, and it does not have a drop in 9, or it does have a drop in 9, 5, 4, and 3. It has a Sun badge drop. So you can farm it there. Fuse Nerves. Got some bad news for you, Spectenny fans. Some really bad news. Spectenny needs these too. So for all of you who picked this on the Moonlight Connection, I feel really bad. Because now you've got a choice. Seaside Bellona, Spectre Tenebria. I did SSB again. SSB got my catalyst, and once again, Spectre Tenebria has been pushed back. So, where do you get them? 9-2. This is going to take you a while. You need 17 of these in total. You need 10 for her 6-star, which is pretty vital. That's 6% attack, plus 30% flat attack being added in. This is big. You'll probably want to do this first. And then we come to her skills. Her skills need in total 7 Fuse Nerves. So you're looking at about 3 weeks plus random drops to get this. And then you have the Rings of Glory. Now, for any of you who started with Ilyanov or around Ilyanov or been playing since before she was released, you had a chance to get 15 Rings of Glory. If not, you want to come to Rings of Glory, Unrecorded History. They are in 9.1 and in 10. So get ready to get comfortable with 9-1 because it sounds like you're going to be there a while for the fused nerfs as well as the Rings of Glory. Find you a good stage, sit on it. It's a lot of AP. Good news. Not this weekend of the video's release, but next weekend. So that would be July 10th and 11th. You will have an AP buff coming to you. Huge. That's probably the point where you'll come up and try to make ground. Farm up as much as you possibly can without going overboard. And once again, she needs fused nerfs, but you need in total 33 Molagoras. This will be harder for new players. You will need 30 rings and 7 fused nerfs. So in total, you're going to need 17 fused nerfs. It's awful. Once again, my Spectre Tenebrious 6-star got pushed back yet again. Well worth it. So that's it. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So here's what we're going to do. Let's talk about first PvE versus PvP. So when it comes to SSB, she's one of those characters that can do both. And what I mean by that is you can use either build and use it in both, but it's less efficient. Seaside Bellona is one of those units where you kind of want to commit her one way or the other and just leave it be. Now, I'm going the PvP route. I have my Wyvern team completely set up. She works phenomenal if I wanted to use her there, but with where I'm at, and until I'm ready for the Wyvern one-shot, she's going to be a PvP unit. I have another Seaside set put into my storage just in case I decide I want a PvE only SSB. If not, it's going to get fed into her, and I'll move on with my life, and I'll never think twice about it ever again. Because chances are, I'm probably going to go back next year when she shows up, and I'm probably going to try pulling for her again to get, maybe another drink if it's not max limit broken by then. Or if I find out I need another drink for whatever reason. If I need 2 drinks on a character, or I'm just too lazy and I want one, we'll think about it. Or they change her banner, whatever. We might get another one then. So, PvE versus PvP. The way to best set it up is if you take a PvE SSB, so player versus experience, Wyvern, story, all that type of stuff, Abyss, and you put it into PvP, she's probably going to pop. What do I mean by that is her HP and her defenses are probably lower than normal. But what does that also mean? She's probably a glass cannon and she's going to have really, really, really high attack. I actually could probably push her attack up a good bit if I was to give her like my best attack pieces, which would be like this, and I want to say, yeah, we could push her over to 5,000 attack just with 2 pieces right there. It's quite stupid. So, but you see, we're losing 1,000 HP, losing some crit. I mean, honestly, if I wasn't so attached to Vivian, I probably would do this, but I love my Vivian where she's at. So, she would still have some tank, but honestly, think about it one way or the other. She's going to be more glass cannon-y if you take her into PvP full damage, the nuclear bomb. Cool. You might be able to get her off, but she's going to need to be fast, and there's a lot going on with that in that aspect. But PvP, I'm thinking about it from the aspect of you want her there for a while. You want her to be annoying. You want her to do her job, which is her skill 2, which is when anybody gets attacked, after they get attacked 5 times, she throws back. She throws an attack out called "You're Not Cute." Thanks, Bellona, for hurting my ego. So let's talk about her skills, and then we'll finish up this PvE versus PvP thing. You might understand it a little bit more. So her first skill attacks the enemy with a fan with a 75% chance to target an enemy for 2 turns. It's a pretty good effect. Target increases the damage received by the target by 15% while decreasing the invasion by 15%. It's a nice debuff to have. Her skill 3 Attacks all enemies with a spray of water with a 100% chance to make them unhealable or unbuffable and unhealable for 2 turns with a critical hit increasing damage dealt. Pretty good. Her soul burn will also ignore the effect of resistance. So now here's the cool thing. Shares 30% of damage suffered by the caster, her, with the foremost ally. So your tank, the one that goes in the leader slot. When one or more damage sharing effects is granted, the one with the strongest effect is applied. This outdoes Arius's 4-star artifact, so any knight that has Arius you need to put it on like Adamant or some other damage sharing artifact that doesn't share with her. I would recommend Adamant Shield, works out pretty well. The caster gains 1 focus when an ally is attacked. Big thing, when any ally is attacked, she gains focus. When she gets 5 focus, she will lose all focus and activates You're Not Cute, which the skill is attacks all enemies with the fan with a 50% chance to decrease defenses for 2 turns. So, this is why people want to use her for PvE and PvP. But this also should tell you why you want to go with a PvP build or a PvE build. So right now, I was working on trying to do Abyss today on stream, and right now I'm using a broken set just because I'm waiting for the Hell Raid chest. Normally, when I'm using SSB, which I will go ahead and re-equip it, I'm going to have her here with Rengar's Drink. Now, Rengar's Drink, for those of you who haven't paid attention to it yet, it is, when attacking all allies, has a 75% chance to inflict additional damage after attacking. The additional damage dealt increased to the proportional to the caster's attack, which is why you want to get as much attack into her and as much bulk into her as possible when it comes to PvP, because you're using that on top of everything else to damage the other units. So it's a really unique kit, really cool. I'm enjoying her. So let's talk about the differences in the build. So for PvE content, you're probably going to use an attack set, a critical set, and you're going to be full send everything damage. So you'll be looking at either attack percent, crit damage here. You'll be looking at attack percent only here, and 99% of the chance you're looking for attack percent here as well. Then you're going to be running, you're looking for attack, crit damage, crit chance, speed, attack, crit chance, crit damage, speed, and then crit damage, crit chance, bulk, HP, defense, speed. Something in that line on this side. So, and I mean, you're talking attack set with just tons of attack. I'm scared to see what a highly rolled attack set. Actually, let me put it this way. A very well rolled, very patiently set up attack set SSB would end up looking like. I can only imagine how high the attack would be. Where PvP, it's more about staying alive and being annoying, because that debuff's annoying. Getting hit back after every so many attacks is very annoying. Her target is annoying. Her defense break is annoying. Keeping him unhealable, unbuffable, all that is very, very good and very, very annoying. You can also think about her as a speed character. Having her go get out there, get quick, and drop down that skill 3 instantly in PvP is also another way of looking at it, because by getting them unbuffable and unhealable before they can do stuff is quite annoying, because then they have to dispel that before they can take their turn. So there's several different ways you can play her. The way I'm gonna go is tanky, annoying, life-stealing, you're gonna take a while to kill me. That can also work to my disadvantage, and I'll explain why later. So I'm going to be using the Abyss set from the 90 stages, which is basically 90 rolled gear. Basically, you cannot reforge this. As well, I'm using the sword from the shop. So for conquest points, I got the sword. It didn't roll too well, but it's fine. It'll be used for somebody somewhere along the line. This whole set is a starter set until I can truly find out what I want to do for my SSB. Again, I'm missing the Hell Raid chest, which I plan on farming up here this week. So I'll try to get that on her as soon as possible, and hopefully it rolls well. Rolls well. Really rolls well. That's what we're hoping for. And then she'll have immunity for PvP. Now, PvE. Again, we mentioned earlier, the attack set. If I was to put my Sigurd's attack set on her right now, which is probably my bet, it's my only attack set that is actually rolled well, it's shockingly disappointing when you see the difference in stats. So if we put this on, and the reason being is because my right side gear is all attack percent. So as you can see right here, I'd gain 231 attack just by changing that. Now here's where disappointment sets in. Now keep in mind, this is 75 gear because it works for Sigrid. My Sigrid has 4,800 attack. So I'm losing 400 attack just based off of Sigrid's setup for this. This isn't a bad PvE build. You know, we got some bulk we're missing, but we have a lot more crit damage, so we're really going to hit a lot harder now. Our effectiveness is up, which is okay. It doesn't really matter for us where we're at. And we've gained 10 defense, woo. But 100 attack is nice, and it works for her. But honestly, I think if you really sat down and really devised out a attack crit rate set and got it rolled properly, you could do a lot better than this. What else could you do? Speed. It would totally work. You're going to want, roughly the same type of thing you're going to put here on attack, but the only difference is instead of being slow as dirt, you're going to make her fast. Kind of like where my Arby sits, she'll be slower. Like if we put Arby's gear on her, it would be fairly disappointing from what I remember. I think I've already tried this because we were curious what would happen. So this would bring her to, yeah, we lose a lot of attack. Go figure, because we're coming off of the attack percent everything at that point. But she's now 91 speed faster. And sure, she almost has 100% crit rate. Her critical damage is up. This would be a nasty SSB. But I've lost a lot of bulk for speed. This set doesn't work for her at all. As far as how mine's built, I would have to do something way more defensively. So I know a lot of you are looking towards Wyvern because maybe you have Sigrid, maybe you don't. Maybe you started with a Ravi, maybe you started with Vildred. Again, if you're brand new and you maybe have a chance and you haven't really gotten too far in the game, check out the beginner's handbook. Maybe you want to start over really quick and try to start working on pulling her, especially if you have no resources, you're just burnt everything. The beginner's handbook might help you get going and get her early on. You could even try rolling for her from the first couple summons. You can get a couple summons, I think, early on, and it would take a while, but I mean, if you're desperate and you really want to start with SSB, there's a chance. So the reroll guide will help you out with that if that's what you're wanting, and then just getting started in general. Just things in there can help you get her now. But a lot of you are starting from there, and especially for those who have followed, I do want to say thank you guys, all of you and your support in the beginner's handbook. Thank you so much. This is for you. So for those of you who are starting around here, you're probably looking at her as a Wyvern unit. Let's be real, because that's where you're at in the progression of your game. So what you'd be wanting to do for Wyvern is probably get that free attack set. If it's not on Sigrid, if you don't have Sigrid, put it on her. Put the speed set on, say, like Alexa. You're going to want to work on getting Furious out of the connections, getting him out. Angelica Montmorency, one of those needs to be, Montmorency's going to need to be specialty changed before she can be your Wyvern tank. Angelica just needs to be leveled up. And the free HP set goes on her. So you can start working towards a Wyvern team with her. What does that entail? So if I was to set up for Wyvern, I have a couple builds in mind. One's from a friend, and one's just kind of one I was thinking about on my own. So you could technically do, as we showed you earlier, the attack set. Another one that is very interesting is a friend of mine is using a destruction set, a destruction crit hit set on his SSB. Now, here's the thing. This is the Nixseed one, and this is insane, but it didn't roll very well for the attack stats. Again, it's a level set. We're downgrading because we're coming off 88 gear. Keep this in mind. For you, this would probably be an upgrade. I'm going to be real with you. I'm coming off 88 gear, rolled with all attack stats on the right side, so this is why this looks so detrimental on this side. But for you, seeing 80% crit rate and 349 crit damage, this means SSB is going to be spanking Wyvern. Yeah, I said it. Spanking Wyvern. She's going to take that fan and spank it. So, getting the Nixseed set, you got to clear Nixseed 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in 5, you need to full clear all the gold chests in there. There are 2, I think, that are not gear. I think one's like Sky Stones and one's something else in there. But clear it out, get this set, get it leveled up. You could put this on your SSB, and this would be pretty nasty. Depending on how this rolls, you may actually want this on Sigrid and then SSB on the attack set. Keep that in mind. So, that would be that for Wyvern. If you're using Wyvern, Daydream Joker. She needs that absolutely 100%. She needs Daydream Joker. Sigrid needs Daydream Joker. So, let's talk about the PvP threat and weaknesses now. So now we're going to come back to PvP for a minute, because this is also another very important thing about SSB. SSB is a threat just because of the fact that she has AoE. So the AoE, unbuffable, unhealable, is very, very annoying. You don't have a cleanser, this is going to really hurt your team really quickly. So do keep that in mind. The targeting is very annoying, because as soon as they're targeted on, for whatever reason, I think it's programmed this way, once target is up, all the AI and all the AI is going to start attacking that target, and they're going to get wrecked. So makes her a very formidable foe in general. A lot of people use her on defense because of just how annoying she can be. But there are some weaknesses you want to know about, and that is the wonderful character named Rowana. Why is Rowana so detrimental to SSB? Understand her kit, her artifact, and how she's normally built. Rowana is typically slow as dirt and tanky as crap. A lot of HP, defense, effect resist. She's there to sit and do nothing. Why? Touch of Rekos. Recovers health of all allies by 5% after being attacked. This is not even leveled up. To give you an idea, if I was to level this up to just plus 15 by 7.5%. That's huge. That's just plus 15. Plus, recovers health of all allies when an ally is attacked by an extra attack, a counter attack, or a dual attack. And increases combat readiness of all allies by 5% per attacked ally. So if you're getting AoE'd by SSB, that's 20% combat readiness push. Boom. And then by maxing this out, you can get a lot of healing off of this. This is really nasty SSB counter. Basically you get SSB becomes a healer for you. So when you look at it, you have Rowana, have her built bulky, chuck her in. You're probably going to sit there and laugh at it. Now, how do you get rid of her? Blow her up. Send in something green that can go kaboom really quickly, and SSB is gone. But she can be a threat if you do not have it and you get into her and she starts really getting off on you. It's pretty bad. I've lost to SSB teams before. So thanks to Cookie for helping me out here. He's given you some information, or given me some information to give to you guys on some really like SSB PvP teams to help you think about this in the long run. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that most of these characters right now you probably don't have access to, but they can be very, very helpful to you in thinking about how to build up teams. He's actually autoed. You know what? If I can grab the screenshot, I will show it to you right here. He autoed his way to Legend in normal arena with an SSB team. Gross. So, this is what he said. He says, the usual SSB arena offense team will include as much of the following as possible. So whatever combination of something you can get in to work. You want an AoE cleanse. So his suggestions are Desert Jewel Bazaar, so Moonlight, Ray, green, Moonlight Coeric, Moonlight, Acades, Destina, and ML Lilibet. You want AoE immunity. Desert Jewel Bazaar, ML Crow, Ray, ML Coeric, Angelica, Cecilia, Vivian, and Crimson Armin. A knight with Adamant and Arius, or Arius. Typically, you do want it if it's specifically about SSB, it probably should be Adamant. If you don't have Adamant, Arius works, but it just won't work for her. So that would probably be, he was suggesting Fallen Cecilia, Crow, Roz, or Rose would be another very good one for her. You want something with an attack buff. General Purgus, Moy, ML Coeric, Singelica, Sinful Angelica, Maid Chloe or Rose. Defense buff, which would be like Crow, Roz, Alencia, Doris, something like that. And it just really depends on what you're facing will determine how these kind of units you'll want to get in. But if you want to maximize your SSB, you want to try to figure out a combination of units that you can get to make that happen. Now, on my end of things, we're going to talk to you about PvE and specifically how to work around your Wyvern team to help you out, to give you an idea of how to build it. So we're going to come here to Side Story, and I'm going to set this up as if you were playing Wyvern with your normal units. So we're going to set this to blue, and then we're going to put Sigrid. We're going to put, for the sake of the video to start with, we're going to put the traditional Wyvern team and how you probably have it set up. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to assume we're using Angelica because more people like her because she's a 4-star and she has more value to some players just because it's 4-star instantly and you don't have to worry about the specialty change. So if you were to set up your Wyvern team, it should look like this. Now, what would we be replacing right now? So if we're looking at it this way, SSB has target, she has a defense break, and unhealable and unbuffable. As of right now, I cannot confirm just because I haven't tested it or remembered if unhealable or unbuffable is a buff that Wyvern can take, or a debuff that the Wyvern can take. I don't know if that's one of the ones that's immune. I know there's just a few that it's immune to. I know it's immune to provoke, and I'm thinking it's unbuffable because unhealable is on Sigrid. So because her defense break is only 50%, and chances are your gear quality isn't great, my best bet, especially if you don't have Song of Stars on Furious, is let's start with SSB in your Wyvern team. Now, obviously, because that way that buff works, if you have her imprinted, you want it this way, so that your two most important units are, you know, well buffed. Honestly, you could even technically do it this way so that Furious doesn't die, because your Sigrid's going to have better gear than Furious. Furious needs to be faster. So the way this would be set up is HP set on Angelica. You want Furious to be faster than both SSB and Sigrid. So you need him decently fast, which isn't super hard to do. Now, let's take this a step further. What if you don't have Sigrid? Well, very easy answer. Put in Alexa right here. Well, what if you've pulled Clarissa? Even better. Put her in. So, this would probably be your best case scenario. But wait, there's more. What if you happen to pull Luluka? There you go. And you could run the team just like this. We're getting really dangerously close to the one-shot, by the way. It's Sinful Angelica, Lieutenant Kuran, you have SSB, and Sigrid is your Wyvern one-shot team. So you could do it this way. If you don't have, or if you have Sigrid, you could even do this. So you could do this, and in theory, you could also do, I want to say you can probably even get away with Flan if you had her. But this is so many. Well, yeah, she's got the defense break, attack buff, combat ready push, crit damage. Yeah, you could probably get away with this. So that would be a kind of a couple ideas for Wyvern. You definitely need to make sure that Sigrid and SSB, or your two main damage, let's just say it this way, your two main damage dealers need to have Daydream Joker. So that kind of wraps up everything to kind of give you the overview on how to get started with your SSB. Now, obviously, let's say this here, and I should have probably said it at the beginning, this is very, very, very important to take home. So for all of you who have watched this 25-minute video, here's the final bit of information for you. Everything is subjective. It really is. You can build SSB however you want. And I say that because if you would like to build a hybrid, something that is a little bit tankier, loses a little bit of damage, and may be a little less efficient in one place or the other, it's fine. The most important thing is go have fun with the units you have and try to make the best of the game you can. You always have to deal with the cards you are dealt in the beginning. You can't change what you don't have. So go out and enjoy SSB. If you've pulled her, get whatever build you can get on her to get her out in the door, get her out, start leveling her, get her friendship up, start leveling her, and enjoy this kind of one-off summer limited unit that comes around once a year. Like, this is it. This is your one chance to get her till next summer. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye now.